have to go up. I got the little plastic clamps that clamp onto the side here. Those are in the back seat of my truck.
Your truck.
So she'll bite you.
That's just Ruby.
Clean out the ears with a magnum.
Well, leave her alone.
Sonny a biter now?
She just doesn't like certain people like Matt. Yeah.
Facebook's good.
Facebook's live right now. We almost saw Sonny bite Uncle Faulty. We need to get some tunes going in here.
Where'd you, Matt, is there a radio in the 250?
I'm not going in there.
I got a radio right here, Holmes.
There's one right there, too.
YouTube's not happening, or it is happening?
I'm just loading the page so we can see if it's going live.
Okay. But we're live on Facebook right now?
Live on Facebook?
Well, hi, Facebook. Welcome to the first annual fitness garage sale.
You're live on YouTube as well.
The first annual fitness garage sale, Bart. This is where you get excited about the first annual fitness garage sale.
Is this the last one, too, or no?
No, this will probably be our... it's only up from here. It's only up from, but in reality, it's already been a smash hit.
That's
I mean,
true.
we just broke away from all the action. We had like 20 people here when we got here this morning at 8:15. And so that was kind of nuts. And that's why we're delayed in going on the live right now, because we had some business to tend to. And here you are. Bart's doing up invoices. He's doing up tickets. We're ringing up sales. We're ringing the bell. Everybody's having just a jolly good time.
That's right.
So what is the fitness garage sale? Well, the fitness garage sale is this is a circumstance of hoarding. Would you call it that?
We've got too much stuff.
A hoarding circumstance? Yeah. So what happened is we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 buildings around town. How many buildings now? 15 buildings?
Something like that, yeah.
In fact, every building in Wilton has fitness equipment in it. That's full of fitness equipment. So we finally decided we're going to open up the doors and sell everything at garage sale pricing here at 603 West 5th Street. Hey, Ryan Pitts just showed up. The Ryan Pitts, Iron Grip, or is it Iron Grip? Stronger Grip, not Iron Grip. That's the dumbbell guy. Stronger Grip. And he brought some stuff. Look at that sword. Look at
that?
Katie, turn the camera over there. Look at that freaking sword, Ryan Pitts. And he makes this stuff. These are strength training implements. So is that a weighted sword, Ryan?
It is, and you can load it, too, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a strength training.
Yes.
Bart, give us some commentary while I go over there and look at this thing.
That thing is cool. Can you, etch a name into that? Or
Yes,
yeah?
absolutely.
So how do you load it up?
Here, Ryan, the bottom.
Oh, all right, let me see this thing.
Holy cow.
Is this empty?
It's empty, yes.
I'm guessing, hold on. You know how much this weighs. I'm going to say this is 28 pounds?
It's lighter. It's probably 18 to 22.
Oh, okay, 18 to 22 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. Bart, this is 18 to 22 pounds.
18 to 22 pounds.
Right now.
Yep.
Let me see right. So this is, the
Everybody
idea
stand
here is
back.
to swing it behind you, right?
Yeah, like
But you got to be tall enough for it not to hit the ground.
You are. You're tall.
So all right, show us how this works. Liz, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah. Look at this thing.
Here's a base 360 swing.
That thing's pretty cool.
He makes it look so easy.
And you can go into lunges and whatnot.
Yeah.
You're strong. Your wrists are strong up there. Conan pose. Here, hold this, baby. I got more.
Yeah, we brought all kinds of fun stuff to you guys.
I'm going to see
So
if I
what
can
do
get
you-
my mic over there for Liz.
So do you load that handle then if you want more weight? Is that all it is?
Yeah.
Good. Bart, is my audio still on?
Yes, sir.
Say hi, Liz.
Hi, Liz.
How are you? Tell us about Stronger Grip.
We're here. We're ready to have some fun. We brought some awesome metal, and we want you guys to touch it.
And you guys massaged all this metal yourselves.
Yeah, we did.
Ryan, what am I looking at here?
This is the D20. This one actually, Liz and I took it to a park where we live, rolled it down a hill. It landed on 20, and it got 3.4 million views on TikTok.
Are you serious?
I swear.
I'm
yeah.
gonna go roll the damn
I know.
thing right now. I'll take a half a million.
I got a buddy. I've got a buddy. I make these that are loadable too, so they're strong, like Strongman Atlas stones. That's empty. This was the first one I made. My loadable ones, my buddy in Washington, he's got one, and he loaded up to 250 pounds, shouldered it, and then let it drop. And that one got 1 million views. So if you buy one, you will get views. That's been proven. Yes.
Keep talking about. I'm going to tag you in the live stream right now.
Yeah. So this one's constructed of 20 separate triangles. They have to be put at the right angle, welded, sanded smooth. The numbers I had lasered out, but yeah. So.
How many of those have you built already, Ryan?
Oh, probably 5 or 6. Yeah. Yep. I've got smaller ones that can be loadable, maces, clubs. Yeah, if anybody's familiar with swinging stuff, kettlebells, clubs, maces. Yeah, we just put a fun, kind of adventurous twist on things by making it something that I love, which is medieval stuff, sword, sorcery.
Are you on Facebook, Liz?
Yeah.
What are you under?
Liz Pitts.
Liz Pitts. That's what I thought. Oh, there you are. Just gonna tag you both in.
Yeah, sweet.
Well, why don't you come in and we're gonna kick Bart out there, Ryan, and we'll have you sit in with us for a minute, and then
Okay.
we'll talk about this stuff. So we'll get set up over here. Sorry, Bart, I got to kick you out of the way for a minute.
That's fine.
Oh my goodness.
It's hanging off the lip there. Oh,
Well-
now you're on your headphone.
Oh, where is? Is there a producer anywhere around here, Katie? Like, I need a producer. Oh my gosh, look at that hammer. I got to move this stupid laptop out of the way here so we can see all this stuff Ryan brought in. Ryan made all of this stuff. That's what's cool about this. With Stronger Grip, is it technically, what town are you technically in?
Grand Mound.
In Grand Mound, Iowa. Another Iowa-based business doing big things. You've sold this stuff all over the country. Get over here. Bring me something we can put on the tabletop.
I've got the perfect thing. I'm gonna grab it. That's heavy. 2 hands.
Oh my gosh. Throw this at somebody. Can you hear it? Listen to this. That thing is super. How heavy is this ball?
That one, oh man, either 7 or 13 pounds. What I did was I melted lead in it, so that's why it looks.
This is incredibly heavy. By the way, guys, we're at the fitness garage sale here at Treadmill Heroes, 603 West 5th. It's been a big hit. We finally got a break in the action this morning after the early bird rush. And we have Ryan and Liz Pitts here from Grand Mound from Stronger Grip. They make all of this stuff. As a matter of fact, they made me a Thor hammer, a Milnor, and so I saw it in the office, and I was like, God, I got to tell Ryan about this thing and have you guys come in and tell us about some of our stuff. So what is this thing called?
An icosahedron, 20-sided die.
It's a 20-sided die, and this is
D20 if you're a D&D fan or a gamer.
Is what made this kind of dice or die famous Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes, absolutely.
By the way, a single dice is a die, right? More than one is dice. So if you have one die, you don't say I'm going to roll the dice. You're going to say I'm going to roll the die.
Correct. And then if you're in the way of one of these swords, then you may
You may die. So, okay, tell us a little bit about Stronger Grip. Give a pitch here. Who the heck are you, Ryan?
I'm still trying to figure that out myself. So Stronger Grip became a thing in 2006. Prior to that, I was introduced to physical culture and fitness at 14 when I discovered my dad's 7-week Joe Weider lessons. From like the 1940s.
Like in a book?
They were in a book. They were actually, he must have sent away from them, 4 of them, and they were like pamphlets. You folded them out, and there was like several 5-6 pages of body weight stuff to do. So week 1, it just showed you basic exercises. And again, my dad didn't show me anything. It was just stuff that I gravitated to. I found them in the bookshelves. So it was like, this is awesome. Did them all on my own. Grew up in the 80s, so parents weren't really hands-on back then. You just lived and discovered things, which is awesome.
Sure.
But yeah, everything started with those. So physical culture started at 14. At 16, I started as in a machine shop as their draftsman. So when I would get out of school, I would go and draw blueprints for this machine shop, and they would make parts from them.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
That's how it started.
That's how it started. And then from 14, 16, I got into bodybuilding, had a subscription to every magazine available.
Every
at the
issue
time.
of Muscle and Fiction.
Muscle and Fiction, yes.
Yeah.
Flex, you name it. Had them all. So I made my own power racks, flat benches, bicep benches, and I started selling those through the Quad City Times Classifieds because the internet wasn't around yet. And
so that was the beginning, was the squat racks.
I would say so, yep. I sold a lot of bicep benches through the Quad City Times, and then just kind of progressed my physical culture journey.
When you say a bicep bench, is like a preacher curl bench?
Preacher curl bench, yep.
Do you think there's any of those still hanging around?
There's gotta be.
Do you have any old pictures of them?
I do.
Because I'd like to. I would love to at least get familiar with what some of your original stuff looks like. That's floating around the QC, because we're in basements and garages and places all the time, and sometimes we might see something that we go, "Oh, that looks like that was homemade." But then you don't know from whose home and who made
the origin, right.
So if I've got a couple pictures to reference, I actually think that'd be kind of neat to have in some kind of little archive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you know what I'm saying, like, remember Doc Greer? I'm sure you're okay.
Yes.
So he was a beloved figure around the Quad Cities who was making exercise equipment. And sadly, he passed away like 10 years ago, probably.
Yeah, time flies.
Anyway, but you see some of his stuff still around the Quad Cities, and it'll say like Docs on it.
Yeah.
Or it'll say, I think, Tiger, and some of them I think even said Eagle on them. I think I saw. So Macomb High School has a real runner.
Okay. Oh yes.
So and it doesn't. And I was like, that's a Doc Greer piece, and they look at me kind of like, okay, fitness nerd, fitness nerd. And but it didn't say Tiger Fitness, and it didn't say Docs. I'm going to look at it because we're going to be down there. Macomb High School bought a bunch of fitness equipment from us, so we're installing that. Anyway, we're going to come I want to get right back to Ryan Pitts and your story, but who are we and what are we doing? We're here at the Treadmill Heroes Fitness Garage Sale, 603 West 5th Street, Wilton, Iowa. From our garage to yours at garage sale pricing. We are cleaning out the buildings that are full of stuff. Show up, bring some cash, and bring a truck, bring a trailer, and we will load you up, and you'll feel like you want to send me an apology letter for robbing me blind, but we're going to go ahead and make it happen anyway. Ryan Pitts.
And it's worth your health. I mean, yeah, if you're cheap but want to get healthy and strong, get out here.
Get out here. Buy some stuff. All right? Ryan Pitts, Stronger Grip, back to you. So you start building squat racks and preacher benches around the Quad Cities, and this was when?
This was... Man, I graduated in 91, so it was...
That's when the Enter Sandman album came out, by the way.
Yes, I know.
Okay,
I had
you
cassettes,
were the first one.
I had cassettes, I had CDs, I had all those. Huge metal fan, huge hair... I did, yeah. Whew.
So, well, we'll talk about that in a minute here too. So, anyway, when do you think the first years were that, and somebody actually bought a piece of exercise equipment that you built?
Okay. So it was at that time, the 90s or early 90s. Pre-Stronger Grip, there was a dinosaur training. There was an excerpt in Iron Man, Brooks Kubik. Familiar with him?
No. You're going to have to, whenever you name a name,
Okay.
you should probably say the name and then spell it out in crayon for me who that person is.
So Brooks Kubik wrote a lot of historical fiction, but he did a lot of old school training, introduced people to the old time, guys from Strength and Health when Bob Hoffman. Familiar with Bob Hoffman?
Sure.
Okay.
No. Who is Bob Hoffman? You're a lot older than I am. You don't look like you're a lot older than me, but you're older than me. I didn't graduate high school till, I don't know, 9 years after you did. If you graduated in 91, I'm a 2000 kid.
Okay.
You're talking about a vein that I don't really know.
Yes. Okay, so Bob Hoffman was one of the early pioneers of selling health stuff. He had protein powder, Proteen. It was just him and Weeder were battling because
really,
Bob Hoffman was before the Weeders, and then the Weeders came and just started doing all their magic and took a lot away from Hoffman.
Oh, okay.
And Hoffman was kind of a kook, but Olympic weightlifting was huge back in 30s and 40s. So all his athletes, York Barbell. Hoffman was I think he might have owned York Barbell.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so this guy is one of the kind of the granddads of the fitness equipment industry.
Absolutely, would really push Olympic lifting. So all the athletes did Olympic lifts, and those guys of that era, they did that, but they had regular jobs, usually labor jobs, and they could also do things like functional hand balancing and feats of strength, so stuff like that, where once Weeder took over, it was more just looking good and pumping your muscles, which nothing wrong with that, but useful is also good.
Yes, functionality.
Yes.
So anyway,
then there was, so prior to 2006, I came across that article in Iron Man, and he was talking about thick grip training, and how just using a thicker bar was good for your grip. So I made some stuff and did that, and then really took that to another level of.
See, that's interesting. Hold on here, just for context. You're fresh out of high school, for the most part. You're year or two removed, and you're reading in all of these early publications of bodybuilding magazines and literature, and you are making this kind of stuff, some of the crude original equipment, squat racks and benches.
Right.
And as you're reading about different ways to train, then you're going, well, then let me try to make something that can put that practice into play.
That sums it up. That sums me up. Yes, thank you, Joe, because I have a hard time kind of explaining because I just do it.
Well, and you're a mad scientist too. You look at things in all. It's like all this energy, and then you just put it together, and it's like you couldn't draw it out. You can't plan it. You know what I mean? I'm assuming that's kind of how you work. Is that how his brain works, Liz?
Yeah.
Okay, mad scientist.
I do have a lot of sketches that I'll kind of pre-sketch out and then do it. But yeah, so me and information. I'll take it in, and then you read something, it points you to another thing, and it's just, you just keep doing that and doing that. So over 30, 40 years of that, you keep trying things, and whatever I'm interested in, whether it's grip or arm wrestling. When the arm wrestling thing happened and I made the championship hammers for World Arm Wrestling League that were on ESPN, it was the same thing. I came up with some specific arm wrestling tools that made sense for training in that kind of arena too.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So you read about a wider grip bar helps your strength and overall whatever beefiness, and you're like, oh, then let me try to start making those. So what was the first kind of thing you came up with?
So it was a thick bar. I was into some metal shapes at the time. So globes, some thicker tubing and stuff. Iron Mind had some things. So one of the early things was a leverage block. Iron Mind had their pinch block, which was a 3x4 rectangle tube with a loop welded on it.
Okay.
And so you just grab it, loading pin. So my thought was, I'll put a loading pin on it, and you put weights on it, grab it, and now you're leveraging it. So it's a dumbbell, but it's a pinch block, and then you can move the weight in and out, and it's great for wrist strength.
That's kind of cool.
Which is also an old feat of strength, is like curling a barbell plate.
How many of those did you come up with, or just a prototype, or was this a bunch?
I sold a lot of them. Yeah, a lot of them.
That's another thing I got to see a picture of, because I'm sure there's some basements that have those.
Probably, yes.
Any of this stuff that you're talking about, it sure would be neat, even if it was just a picture of an old Polaroid picture. Right. It'd be neat to say this is one of those things. And I don't know, Ryan, I think it'd be kind of cool someday to like show up at your shop and be like, look what I found of yours. Here you go. Yeah. Like, it would be neat to kind of return some of these things back to home base. Because I'm sure there's some pieces you've built and you've thought to yourself, damn, I wish I had at least one of those that I could, one of the first ones. You could always remake it, but one of the first ones. Hey, Katie, by the way, while Ryan and I are talking, can you take my phone and as Ryan is talking about any of this stuff, will you try and tag it? And then could you change the title of the video instead of just like, I think you can do that from my phone. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. No. You can speak. It's okay. I mean, this is real.
Talk to us.
Oh, but you can tag stuff or mention stuff when, as Ryan mentions it in the comments on that, can't you? Yeah. Will you? Thank you. And from time to time, if it's not too much to ask, do you think we could change the camera angle, just like a he? I don't know. Something fun for the live viewer, the one live viewer. But they're going to be popping in. They're going to be popping up like mushrooms. So,
when are they going to have a drone, just where you can?
Oh, they got them now. They've got these little tiny drones that you can just. That's got a camera and it just follows you. So like these skateboarders or. These damn kids on their BMX bikes, they've got drones that follow them around now. I actually looked into one because I thought it would be kind of cool, but they're a couple grand for them, but they're neat. They're really cool. So anyway,
BMX bikes, I had a paper out and I had a GTX Pro Performer.
A GTX or GT Performer?
GT Performer, yeah.
Really? What color? White, blue, or
white?
Oh,
it was white. Yes.
What would you give for that back? Because the late '80s,
not what they're asking now.
The mid-late '80s GT Performers, those are bringing even a rough ones over $1,000.
I remember I had paper out, so I bought my own, and it was like $221, I believe, is what I paid for it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I had to paper out when I was 11 years old to 16. So I had my own money to buy G.I. Joes, comic books, bikes, whatever I wanted. It was fantastic.
Man, I was excited when I could buy when Flair cards first came out. Those were the real thick ones. They came in the box.
Yes.
But I was a comic book card guy. What a weirdo. And a Juan Gonzalez collector.
Oh.
Texas Rangers left-handed bomber hitter.
I'm sure I've got some of those.
I was a Juan Gon guy. I have a whole book of them.
Nice.
Still, of Juan Gonzalez. So that's something that you couldn't even put a price on.
Right.
So anyway, at what point are you starting to make stuff and people are, at what point do you like, damn, people are like buying my stuff?
Okay. So it was prior to my site, I was selling on eBay. So 2001, I think, is when I opened my eBay account, and I was selling grip stuff. Grip shapes.
Man, that's early on, 2001.
It is. Well, and then also before kettlebells were readily available, I was selling kettlebells on eBay. They were stainless shells that I would melt and fill lead into them, seal them off, and then the handles were solid metal that I would put in a Harbor Freight benchtop bender, heat it up with a torch, and pull that.
Wow.
It was insane.
Speaking of kettlebells, though,
yes.
Kettlebells are one of those things, correct me if I'm wrong, you'd know better than I am, that I would, because I've only been in the industry since 2001. Kettlebells weren't even implemented or really even accepted in the fitness industry in America until
Pavel.
Until roughly when?
That was probably 2000, 2001.
Yeah, it was like considered just like a Russian thing. You know?
Dragon Door, yeah. Pavel, John Duquesne, president of Dragon Door. I think
It's funny because like people now that like say if you're a 20-something and you go to CrossFit and you whip kettlebells around all the time.
Yeah.
You just take for granted that I think you probably just assume that kettlebells have always been around. Kettlebells been around as long as dumbbells. No, they haven't. Like even in the late 90s, there was no gym that had kettlebells in it.
Nope.
Not in the United States. No way.
Nope. The marketing that they did was fantastic.
Dane, what are you looking for? The stuff for the sides? They're in my truck. They're like in a little container. They're thrown around in there. You'll find them. Anyway, go ahead, Ryan.
Okay, so the grip stuff. The grip stuff was I was making that, selling it through eBay. 2006 is when I started Stronger Grip, like officially, made my own site using a platform called Start Logic, where web stuff isn't my thing, but man, it was hard to make a site back then. It's plug and play now, much easier.
Because now you go to a site that makes you a site.
Pretty
You didn't have that before.
No.
Well, I remember when GoDaddy came out, and we were scratching our heads, going, "What is GoDaddy?"
Yes.
It didn't make any sense because up until then, pretty much everyone just made their own site. And you're right, it had to have been really hard. Katie, can you grab this sword from Ryan? Poor guy's going to sit here, and his right arm's going to be twice as big as his left by the time we're done with this.
Happened to me.
Here, I'll take it.
You'll be
It's
stronger.
not as heavy as it.
It isn't. No.
Fill that thing up with lead shot. I'd love to see the gorilla who can swing that around. But anyway, so yeah, when was it where you're like, man, I'm actually like enjoying some success here?
Oh. Yeah, good question. Feats of strength. Let's go there. That's,
Well, what I mean by that is like
money was coming in
when
regular.
you're putting stuff
Okay.
on eBay. Like even the first sale has to be a great feeling. Where a sale comes through on eBay on something you made.
Yeah.
that has to be a good feeling.
Yes. I wish I would have journaled more or taken more of a. Everything was always on the fly with so many kids working full time and doing, your side gig.
I bet. So okay, what's the latest thing that you've been working on?
Oh, the latest thing. Okay.
What are these things? Let's bring those over here to the table. By the way, we're at the Treadmill Heroes Fitness Garage Sale at 603 West 5th Street, Wilton, Iowa, from our garage to yours at garage sale pricing. We've had people coming in and out all day, picking up stuff. We've got a lot of different buildings full of equipment, so stop by and get yourself some garage sale pricing on some fitness equipment here in Wilton, Iowa. And I'm hanging out with my buddy Ryan Pitts from Stronger Grip, and he makes all kinds of really cool implements, big hammers and weighted axes and weighted swords and these 20-sided weighted die that you can roll around. Machetes, which we're going to look at.
Shields.
And now we're looking at the bomb. Now this is interesting because I think I've seen a metal version of this or something a little different. I'm maybe thinking of just like a T-bar attachment. So tell me about the bomb. What is this thing?
Okay, so this is a fun, really exciting thing that happened where I felt like, oh, this is it. So the
Will you hold this
barbell
up in front of
bomb
the camera? Yeah.
is a landmine. If everybody's familiar with a landmine, you do angled barbell work, right?
Yeah.
So these are lightweight landmines you put on the end of your barbell. This goes on the ground, and then you do.
I've never seen one like that because this isn't metal. Is this like a silicone?
This is the cool thing. Okay, let's go to a place, Stronger Grip. I had a customer that would always ask for ideas. So this came from one of his suggestions, which was called the gut wrench. So I made a metal version of this. We called it the gut wrench, and I had it on Stronger Grip for many years, and then he would keep asking for new things, and the story behind the gut wrench was he saw something from Torque Athletic.
Okay.
You remember them?
Dane, this is for you. Yes.
They had something called the ground ball, which was a giant cast iron 80-pound ball with the metal barbell welded to it.
I've seen
You
that.
remember that?
I've seen that. Yeah.
Not the best for shipping, and certainly not portable. Well, my buddy Eric, which we started Stronger Than You, said, "Hey, I want something portable I can throw in a gym bag." So I came up with a metal version of this, and we sold quite a few. There's so many side stories, Joe. So many side stories. So
First, explain to me. So I want to explain what I'm holding right
Okay.
now. So let me give it from a perspective of a new viewer of this.
Okay.
And I've lived in the fitness equipment industry
Yes.
for 20 plus years. Okay.
it's a portable landmine.
Yes, and it's lightweight. You can throw this in your gym bag. Like, guys carry little implements like this around, especially if your gym is a little bit limited on some of the stuff. You can stick your Olympic bar in this hole. It's a 2-inch hole, and now you can do all kinds of, T-bar rows and up and downs and swing
Flows,
arounds and,
yes.
all the things that you see these people online doing. And it's also not going to damage a floor.
Right,
I mean, this thing is great, and this is your baby.
This is an AbMat. Do you know AbMat?
I know AbMat.
They license it out and make these, sell them on their site. They're super economical to get, and so when we had the gut wrench, we sold probably 300 max a year, and it was me making every single one out of metal. We got in touch with them. They loved the idea. They work in this material and that rubber, and they said, we'd like to license this out.
Katie, can you tag? I'm sure we can tag this, right?
Yeah.
The barbell bomb.
Barbell bomb,
Can you
AbMat.
mention this? So we're talking about the barbell bomb here at the Treadmill Heroes Fitness Garage Sale at 603 West 5th Street, Wilton, Iowa. Garage sale pricing on fitness equipment with my friend Ryan Pitts here, and we're talking about, this is his baby here, the barbell bomb. And how do people get one of these things?
They go to abmat.com, and they have this version, which is super lightweight, and they've got a more durable rubber version.
Oh, yeah.
And they're this one's like 35, and that one's like 50. Super cheap.
I would almost say, like, if you're going to keep it in the same spot, buy the heavier duty one.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to take one to the gym and you're just going to pull it out of your bag, this is no heavier than your shaker bottle.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
heavier than an empty shaker bottle, I
Nope.
would say.
And like when I came up with the idea of the gut wrench, I liked the idea that the other end would move with you. Thinking like MMA and clinch and chasing someone. So you do your presses, and it also makes you focus on keeping the bar in check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the landmines, if they're 100 pounds, 80 pounds, you're just going all over
Exactly.
the place. Where that makes you get in there and make sure it doesn't get away from you.
Good idea.
Yeah. No,
How-
so AbMat's a great company. So awesome that they
Is this a case where this was kind of your thing, but you needed a better way to distribute it and get it out to people? Is that how a partnership comes together like that? Or
that's always the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can only reach so many.
Yeah.
As a one-man army with a million ideas.
Yeah. Well, it's smart. I mean, why try to specialize in order fulfillment when that's not your thing, and someone else can do it, and now you can move on to your next thing.
And what's fun is, like, this idea has been around since the gut wrench, but not really known until AbMat turned it into the barbell bomb. And since then, AbMat and on Amazon, they have like 5 or 6 knockoffs, which they're going after legally to stop using the name and the description, and then patent-wise too, they're trying to shut them down.
God, how do you even do that? How do you even shut that stuff down? Because it's all overseas companies doing it.
It's really tough.
You're not going to drag them into court. That's what sucks.
It does.
That's what sucks. People just steal ideas.
And like millions of dollars worth of sales go to that. So it's
It's a bummer.
It is.
But
what's cool
either
is
way,
we get a licensing check every 3 months, and I don't have to make them. So that's.
I love that.
I do.
Well, then, in other words, you want us to sell a ton of these things.
Yeah.
Let's sell a ton of barbell bombs from the live stream right here, Ryan.
And it's not for us. It's for the customer.
That's right.
We want them strong and healthy.
Yes.
And
this
if you're
is what
local,
we're all about.
If you're local and into gym stuff, you got to get out here because this is the place to be. Joe has so much stuff. it's insane. It makes my head spin around the amount of cool things he has for an awesome price. Because fitness equipment isn't cheap, as anybody that's looking knows. So, but this is the place to get it at Joe's Garage Sale, Wilton, Iowa.
Wilton, Iowa, today and tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, May 2nd and 3rd. Thank you for the plug, Ryan. Now, this thing.
Yeah, so Indian clubs. Are you familiar with Indian clubs?
Yes.
Okay.
So the Indian clubs are the they
bowling,
look like a bowling pin.
They look like a bowling pin. Early 1900s, they'd had them in gymnasiums. The military would swing them around. Traditionally, 1 or 2 pounds, and then they got heavier.
This thing is heavy.
Yes, yeah. So again, everything I make, I'm usually at the forefront of the idea behind it. And then when the market gets saturated by all the other people that see it, I come up with something unique. So Liz and I love horror films, and so I thought up of Serial Killer's Strength as a kind of a different brand.
You want to hold this up in front of the... So this is used just like an Indian club, but it's a super cool looking bloody machete.
Yes.
And how heavy is it?
That's 7-8 pounds, and like the shape of it is deceiving because it really hits the wrist different than like what an 8-pound club would. Just the shape.
Man, swinging that thing around. And by the way, plug your socials, because you guys' social medias your pages are great because you're using all this stuff. And a lot of times you guys will do some cosplay and do some scary costumes and swing some of this stuff around. And I do think it's neat. It's a neat way of marketing it. And so I always enjoy, and I always enjoy your social posts with you actually making this stuff too.
Yes, we're working on cleaning up the shop, so I got a nicer background to do more kind of how to not only use it but make it too, because everybody loves seeing things made. I think.
You know what?
I do.
You know what? And please, I'm looking for some suggestions for all of my stuff too, because I'm looking for ideas. You know what I'd love to see from you is I would love to see the videos where you are making them.
Yeah.
I would love it if you would do a voiceover over top of those and explain what I'm looking at.
And you don't like my voice?
No, I do like your voice. That's what I'm saying. No, you talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, today I was making, or do you already do this? I've never seen one of those where like you are. So you're basically recapping your own video.
Absolutely. Yes. No, we need to do that.
And I feel like you do have a great voice, especially for like telling the story. But I'm so interested in watching it, but I'm so dumb when it comes to like
what's happening.
Welding.
Yes.
And so like when I see these beads that you lay on, on these designs, it's like, man, this is really artwork. And I'd love for you to talk about like what kind of welding stick you're using, what gauge of whatever, the amperage of the thing that you're. I don't know it, but I'd love to learn it.
Yes,
and
that's another thing I'd like to do is like inspire others that want to metalwork, and so teaching as I'm making stuff. Yeah.
And I don't think and it's just a matter of you rewatching your video and talking into a microphone and explaining what you're doing. You could do it in one cut.
Absolutely.
Like just study your words if you want to. It makes it more real, I feel, and it's interesting. So I don't know. Listen to me, 200 followers.
I think we're of the same ilk, though. That you and I are both always going 1,000 miles an hour, and so even though things sound simple, it's just sitting down and making it happen.
Can we break that down for a second? Seriously, let's take a deep breath here. Okay, I want to break this down. Okay, all the sales pitches are over. I want to break that part down, because don't you, in a way, drive yourself insane on all the things you need to do to improve the process that you currently have, but you have surrounded yourself with so many things that need attention. It's the old saying, you end up half-assing everything.
Yes.
But I don't look at it as a half-ass, because for me a half-ass would be like, I'm going to work on this for 10 minutes and then I'm going to go sit on the couch. That's half-assing it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is there's so much passion for so many different things.
That 10 minutes you're giving 1,000%, and then 1,000%. Yeah, you're not slacking. You're giving what you can because you got so many things. You got so many plates spinning.
Yeah. And then you know what happens? You get angry at something you can never fight, and that is the clock.
Yes.
You end up waking up, and your mortal enemy is the clock for the day.
Yeah.
It's almost like when I get up in the morning, and it doesn't matter if I treat myself to a 6:45 or if I get up at 5. The second the feet hit the ground, I feel like a fuse is lit, and I'm trying to stay ahead of that fuse all day until bang, time's up.
Yeah.
And then you look at the end of the day, and it's like, I have more to do now than I did when I started.
Yes. And
Can you talk to me about that?
Yes. Well, because guess what? I've only got 24 hours in a day. So do you, and so does The Rock or anybody else in the world. So really trying to figure out the best way to use that and still sleep. I know in my earlier days, I honestly, I didn't sleep much. I worked full time, second shift. I would get off. I would work on stronger grip stuff, and until the wee hours of the morning. Then I would get up at 7, get the kids to school, take them to school. And there was a period where I actually stayed at the kids' school, and the principal hired me as a reading specialist because I was there.
Yeah.
so it's sleep. We do need it. But yeah, prioritizing and trying to I guess find out what's important and kind of let some of the other stuff go away, which that's hard. I haven't figured it out. I'm working on it. Liz is helping me immensely. Things can always come around. But the other thing about going 1,000 miles an hour is you do get exposed to so many different things that you wouldn't have otherwise. And some of those things are priceless. It sparks different things or new avenues. So I think that's the edge we walk on is we know what we're doing and we don't want to miss out on anything.
I got it.
But at the end of the day, are we missing out on something? Family.
Certainly.
You know what I mean?
Well, I sometimes think, like, man, I wonder how successful or how much not successful. I wonder how much money I would have if I was able to just take all the energy I expend throughout the day and just pour it into one thing.
Yeah, let's get
one thing. I can't. I wish I could.
I know.
I wish I could. I can't do it. My brain or my just overall being, it's not who I am.
That's where somehow we're twins because man, so when the Stronger Than You came up, my buddy Eric wanted to do a whole bunch of other products, and I'm like, man, I wanted to start this so it was just one thing, and I'm not making everything, but there's something about it where we just want to keep doing more stuff. Look at my site. I've got I make everything by hand, and there's nothing on the shelves, so I need to pull back, but I can't.
Because it's art.
I love making stuff. Yeah, well,
You're a
and then
creator.
the art. Did you see my library stuff I did?
Refresh my memory.
I had 3 pieces at our local library. I called it my metal health display. One was a giant D20 on a pedestal. Another one was a
I did
giant
see that
lightning bolt.
I did see that.
Thor hammer.
Yes, that was cool.
So they were all kind of usable pieces of art, and those were a blast to make. They took a lot of time.
Where was this at? Katie, we need to tag this.
It was at the DeWitt Library.
Tag the DeWitt Library. And feel free to be throwing some hashtags into the comments there, Katie, as we're mentioning them. You know, producer. Anyway, let's go back to the psychology of all this.
Yes.
Right? That's what I really want to get into.
Let me ask you, because I know, like, for me, reading has been a huge part of who I am. Motivational books. Have you delved into those? Were you exposed to anything like that?
Yeah.
You had a podcast on multi-level marketing.
I had a segment on it, and I
yes,
want to
yes.
do a whole show on
Yes,
it because I would love to tell. I would love to hear other people's stories and share. I'd love to share some stories in that.
Because I had a stint in that, but my favorite thing about it was the personal development.
Correct.
It was just something that I always I always loved. I always wanted to keep improving. I always wanted to be better, do better. I always felt that I could do better and was capable of more, and I needed that. I needed to.
Sure.
So basically, I brainwashed myself, which if we don't brainwash ourselves, what you're taking in is gonna,
You're
or
right.
your friends is gonna. And that's why I came to life at 52 with not many friends.
Well, there was so many goods that came out of the multi-level marketing thing, and there again, I'm going to do a show on it, and we're gonna razz them. We're gonna razz the whole setup. But some very good things that came out was that's when I was introduced to leadership books.
Okay.
And that's when I was introduced to authors like John Maxwell, right? I had never heard of John Maxwell. The guy's written 1 million books. And so I read that 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I bet I've probably read it twice. I probably need to read it again.
Have you read 50 Cents? He's got it's a book of 50 rules, but it's along that lines.
Yeah. So, you get introduced to that kind of stuff, and then you find an interest in it. And so leadership books were something that were, I think books in general slow us down right now. I'm trying to think you know what book I'm reading right now?
What?
I'm reading it was published in 1935. So when my father-in-law passed away, he had this set of books called the Book of Knowledge, and it was like 15 books in the set, like an encyclopedia set.
Okay.
These were published in 1935. So they came out in 1935, and it is essentially an entire encyclopedia of what was going on in the world, like world knowledge to that date.
Gotcha.
And it is wild because they're talking about all the world's fairs that took place only 35 years prior and showing all these gargantuan buildings, and there's all these old photos of things where you're like, there's no way we built that,
Right.
And then they're showing all these images of blimps, and how blimps fascinate me because that was a normal mode of air travel back in the day, and it was cheap, and it was
Like, hey, what time's my blimp showing up?
yeah, and you could pay a couple dollars and you could fly across the country comfortably, but for then some reason that we won't dive into on this one, blimps just stopped being a thing because one famous one blew up in front of a whole news crew that happened to be there ready to roll, baby.
Do you think we could bring them back with like an Uber?
I think they could be brought back today.
Uber blimps?
They won't be because of
Danger. Yeah.
well, not danger. No, it's the
Liability.
no, Ryan. What's crazy is the right when the Hindenburg blew up, that's when the Wright brothers are flying around in the airplanes, and it's like, this is the new mode of transportation.
Yes.
And then a whole lot of people sat back and they went, well, this is the new thing, and we can make a lot of money off of this.
Yes.
And so then once the airplane thing got going,
It's like carburetors and fuel injection.
and it was like, we can't bring back, you're not allowed to bring back the blimps. It would cripple the airline industry.
There's no money in blimps.
There's no money in blimps. There's no money in blimps, but there could be. I'd pay big money.
Yes.
So I know that's kind of the theory. But anyway, back to the books. It is fascinating to stop and read something.
Yes.
Because we're just just thumb cocking.
Right.
All day long. If they do a hashtag thumb cocking, I think I just made up a term.
Yeah.
I think I just made up the term thumb cocking. That's mine.
And I'm pretty sure I could come up with a product for that too.
I should just put my channel on that. I should put add Joe Braymeyer, stop thumb cocking. Katie, we're gonna make that shirt. Can you design that right now on Vistaprint? Right now, and post an image on joebraymeyer.com. Ryan, did you know there's a joebraymeyer.com for no good reason? Oh, hey, Katie, show that right there. We've got another customer being loaded up right now. Another one going out the door. We had, just to give some context with that, we sold that bench for how much, Matt?
Oh, man.
225. Okay, sounds good. But we've got some other ones. We've got some benches as low as $20 inside. So
And that's an old Nautilus, well built. I mean, talk about
that's a very well
the
built
building
bench.
of equipment, and like in that era, they were overbuilt. Things today are not overbuilt.
Hey, let me ask you. What's something you do for some guilty nostalgia pleasure? What do you do to scratch that itch?
Come up with like training equipment to take me back to He-Man or Thundercats.
Really? You'll make an inspired piece like
Yes,
that.
yes.
That's really cool.
Yes. Movies. Yeah.
Well, you'll watch old 80s movies. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Is Liz good with that? Liz, were you an 80s movie chick before you met Ryan?
I'm
Or you're still not?
just one era. I love all types of film from all different eras.
Yeah, you're kind of a gypsy. You like it all.
She does.
You
She
like
is.
it all, yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
So I've always been like this.
She's turned me on to things, of my era that I didn't see.
We were just talking about a horror movie right as we were pulling.
Yeah.
All right, if they're going to strap you to the electric chair and you can watch one movie, as soon as the credits roll, they're going to zap you. What are you going to watch?
I get to watch
It's
the
just
whole
it's
thing.
it's just you in a room.
Either
You in a room.
It's either The Matrix or Dumb and Dumber.
Really? You know, can we talk about the Matrix real quick?
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
We just watched it with our kids. We did a family movie. We watched all 3 movies. They got to experience it for the first time. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. You shared it with the kids. I tried to share it with my daughter. She just wasn't quite into it, but I can't wait because it still holds up today.
Yes, it does.
It's more relevant today than ever.
Yes, 100%.
Can we talk about a Matrix theory I just saw on TikTok the other day?
Let's hear it.
That
because we just watched Neil deGrasse Tyson talk with Lawrence Fishburne.
Neo is Jesus. I saw that. Okay, like, had you ever heard the theory that Neo is Jesus in that movie?
We had a whole conversation about this after we watched it. Me and Ryan did.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that.
Had you ever, being a huge Matrix fan, had you ever heard that theory prior to that interview, that podcast? Because that's the one I was going to reference.
I did. Yes, I did hear of that, and I was brought up Catholic, atheist now, but just you feel these things, and it has that, and then I liken it to not just the figure, but you or me being that figure. It's about like the human becoming all they can be.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the movie itself has just taken on so many legs, and it's turned into, I mean, Back to the Future is talked about a lot, right? But I think The Matrix is talked about maybe more, especially in this day and age.
And it's just great story, man. The Wachowskis, insane. It was awesome. Timing was great, and just like the action itself still looks really doggone good.
Your answer is interesting to me, though, because I said if you were going to go to the electric chair and you could sit in a room all alone and watch it from beginning to end, and right when the closing credits hit, you get zapped, and you said The Matrix or Dumb and Dumber. Like, what kind of mood do you want to be in when you go out? Do you want to just kind of sit back and take a sigh of relief from how good Dumb and Dumber made you feel? Or isn't it more poetic to go out at the end of The Matrix? I would say I'd want to get zapped right when the end of The Matrix hits.
Right. I guess it speaks a little just to like
You're a sicko to pick those two.
And my mindset is like I'm just not. I can't get on board with like one thing. Like even teams, I've never. You know what I mean?
I got ya.
I love everything. I like all things, and they all kind of have a place with me. I won't fight you over a Ford or Chevy or a drink. Or
Yeah.
anything. I'm not a brand guy unless it's Stronger Grip or Treadmill Heroes.
That's
But other
right.
than that-
That's but shop local, everybody. Both Iowa-made companies,
Yeah.
born here, raised here. Right?
pretty amazing.
We're raising our companies right here in the great state of Iowa,
Yes.
and that's why we're here. By the way, if you're watching this, stop in and join the many people we've seen here at 603 West 5th and down at our other building. Is anybody even down at the other building, Katie, or would they just know to come up here now? We put up a sign. We're at the Fitness Garage Sale, from our garage to yours, at Fitness Garage at garage sale pricing. What's that, Katie? Until 3 o'clock today. And then tomorrow until 2. It also is Wilton's citywide garage sale today, too, so I really got to get around. That's something I'm definitely going to be doing tonight, is hopping on the golf cart. I'm going to get some late Friday night specials, probably a driveway beer or two.
Yeah, let's talk about that, the pull of treasure hunting. Oh. Is that a thing? Because
Ryan, you know what I think we should do is you and I should go to some garage sales together. I would enjoy doing that.
That would be fun.
I love garage sales, estate sales, auctions. Anytime I get to look through other people's stuff that could be of value or interest to me.
Yeah.
It is the highest of highs. I will tell you, I love getting on stage and doing whatever I can do with my limited ability on the mic.
Right.
And when you step off the stage, you get a high, and it's like, whew. I get that same high when I'm walking up someone's driveway and they've got a table full of crap that I don't know what's on that table. It's a little hit of adrenaline.
Yes, whether it's thrift shopping, garage sailing.
I know,
yes.
it's not, and it's the weirdest thing. And if you know, you know. If you don't know,
yes.
Because you have friends too. They look at you cross-eyed. They're like, why on earth would you ever go to someone else and look through their stuff and then spend money on that stuff? It doesn't make any sense. So anyway, tell me about your treasure hunting though. What have you been finding lately? Anything good?
I don't when I'm out looking, it's either I want to see something related to strength, health, fitness, comics, childhood toys that I had and don't have anymore. And then looking at things and then like sparking an idea for something. I mean, just random things will kind of hit me and I'll be, what about this for like a new idea?
Yeah.
And that becomes a new product.
Who's your favorite comic?
My kids do this to me. Hey, Dad, what's your favorite? And I always tell them every day, I don't have one.
So, okay, but do you collect stuff from the comic book era?
I have a lot of comics, yeah.
Or do you collect action figures? Do you collect, like...
I've got some...
Are there certain characters you gravitate towards more than others?
Yeah, like the He-Man stuff.
Really?
G.I. Joes.
You've seen my He-Mans in there, haven't you?
I have.
Okay, good.
Yes.
He-Man, G.I. Joe.
Yes, yeah. That's why your place is the best. It's like...
You haven't seen my G.I. Joe. I've got probably... Well, not counting the vehicles, because that's, oh my gosh, but probably just in figures alone, probably the equivalent of like a tote, probably of just the little figures.
Yes.
And all the vintage ones. We should, you know what? Are you knowledgeable on that kind of stuff? On the figures themselves, like of any kind of value?
No.
I got to find a guy, because seriously, I got to get all this appraised.
There's somebody out there.
Yeah, if anybody, maybe Katie, you could put this on there too, if you don't mind, if I could trouble you. Can you manage that, like, while we're talking? Like, hashtag G.I. Joes?
G.I. Joe experts.
What's that? Did you put, yeah. I mean, you should be, like, adding on. I forgot about thumb cocking already. So yeah.
That might be a thing.
Probably in a different context.
It was not a hashtag.
I started a hashtag. Hashtag
yes.
thumb cocking. Stop thumb cocking and tune in to Joe Braymeyer Presents and make sure you subscribe to. Let's plug some stuff real quick because we can make a reel out of this.
Okay, yeah.
Let's tee this up like we're going to make a reel here. Hey, Ryan, you got any handles you want to tag while you're here in the tent?
I do, Joe. My TikTok is at Ryan J. Pitts Presents. and that's where people can see the 3.4 million views of my giant D20.
I want to be happy for you for that, but I'm jealous of you. My jealousy is outweighing my happiness, if I'm honest.
Well, hold on. We also have a Shield video that I did that got 3.1 million. I don't know why those two happened, Joe. I don't. But check
So
them out
cool.
At Ryan J. Pitts Presents. I had another one that got like 250,000. It was me in a Flash costume, and it was just a fun thing that we did. And I'm a numbskull when it comes to social media. I don't understand it. I guess I get the thumb cocking, but
Yeah.
I'd rather read a book and get like information. I'll thumb cock and get like.
Are you guys monetized yet on TikTok?
No, you got to have like certain things.
Don't meet the
We're not quite there
Yeah.
yet.
Is it the follower count or the?
But we have the follower count. We've got
The hours.
the hour. What?
It's so hard to get to a point where you can like sell stuff on there, right?
It is.
Because you could make a TikTok video on this.
Yes. We might be getting my YouTube. I started my YouTube channel in. Oh man, it was when I was starting Stronger Grip. So it was early 2000. I had one video of doing like a sand bucket. Hand conditioning, like Shaolin monks.
Oh yeah, where you
Put
stab your hands in the rice.
In there. For some reason, that video got over 1 million views 10 or 15
Why?
years ago.
Talk into the mic. Why'd that one get a million views?
Ryan has beautiful hands. They're strong and they're beautiful, and I totally
You know what?
get it.
And I'll tell you else, you've got just the right amount of knuckle hair.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
not like creepy uncle knuckle hair. It's like working man's knuckle hair.
When you see his hands working, you can like imagine like those hands caressing you and holding you and
Rubbing
loving
you. Yeah,
So
you know
that's
what?
where the-
It's
I'm gonna
very
rewatch that
comfortable.
video next time I've got
you
the house to
should.
myself.
It's nice.
So my YouTube channel, I've got.
What's your YouTube channel?
It's
What's
at Stronger Grip.
At Stronger Grip, okay.
I've got almost 8,000 subscribers. What I'm missing there is like hours watched. So that's where we're trying to clean up the shop and get more.
do the voiceover,
Yes,
dude? You
yes.
could literally make an hour-long video and be like, "Come along with me," and I'm just gonna
Yes.
tell you exactly what I'm doing here. And dude, go live on those.
Yes.
Dude, all you gotta do is just in your shot. I would watch you live. Like I'd probably watch for 5 minutes, go do something, check back in like an hour later, and watch for a while.
Right.
You know, but that's what you want.
And that would get our viewers.
Oh
up
my
for
gosh,
sure.
people would love to watch you make this stuff live.
Because we're halfway to that mark that needs to monetize the YouTube
Oh
channel.
man, you'll kill me because we're at almost 9,000 on YouTube for Treadmill Heroes.
Okay.
And because we do long form on how to fix
right.
stuff.
Yes,
our,
yes.
our most popular videos is how to fix fitness equipment, and we're going to continue posting those. And people, hey, if you got a tread that's acting up and it's in your basement and you are trying to fix it and come up and be the hero, you know, you'll sit and watch an hour-long video and then be like, there it is, there's my answer. So what we'll do is we'll go through like, this is hey, if this is what it's doing, check this. If not, check that, and here's why you check this. And if you're looking for just some zany entertainment, it's not the video. But if you're looking to solve a problem, it is. But man, yeah, if you did a voiceover too, and if you said, and hey, if you guys are just starting out, by the way, make sure you do this with the thing. And
Yes, yeah.
oh my gosh,
Yep.
yeah, you'd have a lot of new guys want to watch that stuff.
Yep, I believe so. Yeah, and that's the thing with doing a million different things all the time is that time, which doesn't take a whole lot of time, but it's
Time you don't have.
It does, yeah.
Something else has to be sacrificed, and it's hard to let go.
But we're making the time for because I've been at this long enough where it's time to. Yeah.
Well, you're just too darn good at it. You know? It does. It bums you out. It bums you out because you've got so much passion and so much energy to make something great. Here's another thing I heard in multi-level marketing. You want me to lay it on you?
Yes.
Sometimes in the pursuit of great treasure, we stop for too many trinkets. And my life is full of trinkets. I love trinkets.
Yes.
I know if I just focused on one thing, boy, we could get some treasure, but I love trinkets so much. I'm almost in a weird self-harming way
Yes.
would just rather have lots of trinkets instead of one big treasure.
Yes, it's true. You know what those trinkets are? It's thumb cocking
It's
for
thumb
us.
cocking.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. It's thumb
It's
cocking.
thumb cocking in the real world instead of online.
But isn't it wild?
It is.
That's a real thing. Is just like, I know that's a distraction. Whatever that is, I
Yeah.
know that's a distraction, but I will willingly sacrifice the bigger picture journey.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with it as long as I mean, lots of people are like that way. And it's just, you can't change who you are.
Yeah.
And I think if I gave up all the trinkets and said, I'm going to just focus on the one treasure, I think I would be a sad rich man.
Yes, because at the end of the day, happiness and pursuing it, that's also
Yes.
that's kind of the goal of life. Is
Wouldn't
to
that be the
enjoy-
game with you? The same with you?
Yeah, yeah. Yes and no, because I know there's a lot of things that I could probably do without and still be super happy, because there's just that many things. And you're the same way.
Yeah.
We have so many
Yeah.
that bring us that happiness, but to really maybe just make that circle a little smaller would help.
That's hence the leadership and self-help books
Yes, absolutely.
and the self-reflection.
And some of the latest books I got were on decluttering.
Oh, man, yeah. Katie knows about decluttering here at Treadmill Heroes. We're trying. And by the way, we're decluttering today, Ryan. We're here decluttering at the Treadmill Heroes first annual, but not the last annual, fitness garage sale.
So, Joe, do you guys have free weights?
We have we have weights that can be lifted freely, but
dumbbells?
yes, we have dumbbells.
Benches.
Yes, and our benches, I've got a commercial grade flat bench in there from Reflex. I think I put $50 on. I think I put $40 on it actually. I mean, I've got benches that we are in. We have not taken the prices to the bone, Ryan.
Yes,
we
yes.
have drilled into the marrow. That's how deep the discount is right now.
I heard the screaming when I pulled up, so I know.
We are marrow harvesting. That's how down to the bone we are
And
on pricing.
Reflex Fitness, another great Quad City company from yesteryear, because they sold to Rogue. But,
Yes.
Mike Adolphson from Reflex. Yeah,
Tag
what
Mike, tag Mike. Tag Mike, Katie. Katie, will you bring me a water too?
Yeah, am I drinking yours?
Oh, I don't know. Go ahead. The Breva has it all cleared up, so I think I'm good. What's that? Adolphson.
Yeah, he had a ton of treasures over there. I wish he would have called me over when he was.
Did you see what I have hanging in the shop?
No.
I had to dig it out of this much mud. It was in the front of the original Reflex building. It was the original sign that they had out front. It's like a hard porcelain sign, but it's been like painted or powder coated. But it says Reflex Fitness Equipment. It's got the phone number on it. And I asked Mike when they were moving out, I was like, can I dig that sign out? And I ended up buying a bunch of stuff, and that was part of the...
Okay.
And I just love looking at it because it's such a piece of not only local history, but for the fitness equipment industry, that's a big piece of history. Reflex meant a lot, and they did things that no one was doing, and they did it as a small organization, and they succeeded for many, many years, and
Super quality, super high quality.
and still sought after stuff today. I've got a few Reflex pieces in the shop, but there are certain pieces still today. When you get a Reflex piece in, it's gone right away. Oh, thanks, Katie. Oh, did you bring one for Ryan?
I've got one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the best. You're the best. Best producer ever. But anyway, sadly, we're seeing less and less Reflex come out of original facilities because by this time now, they've pretty much, gotten new stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you know Mike? When was the first time you met Mike?
First time I met Mike.
Which, by the way, if you need to take a break or something, I'll have Liz come in here and hang out with me for a while. You want to do a tag out, or you want to sit in here for a while? You want to talk about Mike?
Yeah, let's go with my Mike story. I've got a customer from California, been with me from the early 2000s, had me made some custom stuff for him.
talk to him on the phone quite often. He would leave messages, and he's got like a real high-pitched voice.
Yeah.
You never know. You don't know what people look like. Well, one year, it must have been 2015, 16, he called, said he was going to come to Iowa and help me clean up the shop. So out of the blue, he
Really?
he came, picked him up from the airport, and there's my buddy Bo, and it's just neat meeting someone you never saw.
Sure.
And
yeah.
then he came, he stayed at the house for a week and helped pick up. And
How
and
great.
The dead of summer, super awesome guy. But he's very much into strength history. He's from California. He was actually like trained at some of the Golds when like some of the big hitters.
I always assumed Mike Adolphson was just a Quad City native.
Yes, he is. My buddy Bo was.
Oh, your buddy Bo. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
Which leads me into the Mike connection because Bo wanted Mike to make something like custom for him. So while he was here, we went over and visited Mike. And
that's when you first met him.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys went to Reflex and said, "Oh, we want you to make something for us."
Yep, Bo wanted something. I talked to Mike about maybe making some hammers or powder coating, but we never reconnected on that. And then shortly after is when he sold out. But
oh, so you met him way late in the.
It was way late in the game. I always knew about him because the Quad City. See, I always trained at Athletic Connection and DePape, so I knew of Reflex.
Can I go on a little bit of a Mike Adolphson little rant here for a second? I really like that guy. I've known Mike for, oh my gosh, at least 20 years.
Okay.
At least. And just because I've been in the industry for over 20.
Right.
And that guy has always been so welcoming, like to go over and see what was going on over there at Reflex. And there were times where Treadmill Heroes and Reflex kind of helped each other out in a little way, an install here, a move there, things like that, cables, things like that. But ultimately, the guy was so passionate about what he did. He's a lot like you. He was so passionate about the product that they were putting out and just so proud of what they were accomplishing at Reflex when they were manufacturing commercial strength equipment that was going out to these big colleges and these big schools, and it really meant a lot to him. And that Michael Jordan commercial, did you ever hear that story?
No.
Oh yeah, so Michael Jordan filmed a commercial, and I don't know who it was for, and we'll talk about whatever that torture device is here in a second. But evidently in the 90s, Michael Jordan made a commercial in like a gym, and it was all black. Okay. It was like black and gray, the whole commercial was. And I don't know what they were promoting. But whoever was shooting the commercial commissioned Reflex to build an all-black circuit of strength equipment for this 30-second commercial.
Nice.
So Reflex built this entire circuit for this commercial for Michael Jordan, and then they got it all back.
Oh, wow.
And Mike had the set. Mike, I hope if you're watching this, because we tagged you in it, or will watch this, comment on this story.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah. Mike, I believe, and I think Mike told me, he had the whole set back for a while, and then somebody bought it.
Okay.
And I gotta believe that set is still out there. Weirdly enough, and you know this, people are collecting fitness equipment now. They're collecting the old Universal stuff. They're collecting the old York plates. They're collecting the old round barbells.
Yes.
That line of Reflex equipment, if it still exists, and that's the original line from that Michael Jordan commercial, that would be really cool to have, or at least know where it ended up.
Right. Yeah, at Home Gym Con, we ran into a couple guys that are finding these
tag
things,
at Home Gym Con,
finding these plates and all the old collars and all this old stuff. So yeah, just these weird niches of history, really.
Will you tell me about Home Gym Con? I had so much. How do I say this? I was really mad at myself for not going to Home Gym Con after I saw all the posts from Home Gym Con.
Oh, okay.
When I first heard about Home Gym Con, a Treadmill Heroes, of course, should have been one of the first people to say, we're going to go to that.
Right.
Like,
Right.
we sell home gyms, we move home gyms, like, we deal in fitness, we're a fitness equipment dealer. Anyway, we should have went, and I didn't, because honestly, I just thought it was going to be like a little room at a hotel,
Yes, yes.
and then I saw all these pictures. So please, tell me what you saw at Home Gym Con, and why I'm an idiot for not going, and why I need to go next year.
The first year we didn't go, but I was there with I sent a custom Epic sledge and a smash target, and they raffled it off. The second year we went, which was my first year, like being out in the world, like selling stuff as a person, not online.
Sure.
So Liz and I were dressed up as ring masters. We had.
I saw
outfits
those
on.
posts.
I had a sweet coat on. I had a circus high striker where they swing a hammer, ring the bell.
You guys had to have been the most popular people at that event.
We weren't the most popular, but we were the
You were the coolest.
And-
Okay.
And looking back, people know that we were, but like every small niche, there's just a weird thing about when you're not a part of their group and then you're there.
You know what's wild is, look at that. So, boy, the spirits at Home Gym Con did not like that. We're questioning something from Home Gym Con now all of a sudden, but that does bring up a interesting point in general. So Home Gym Con is a new organization where they're trying to get all the small mom and pops together in the fitness industry, kind of, right?
Yep.
And it's like, let's all get together and let's have a trade show. Let's all help each other out. In one hand, they want as many new people and they want it to be as successful as possible. Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
But on the other hand, well, not if we don't like them or not if we don't understand anything about them. And so is it one of those things that are we kind of talking out of both sides of our mouth or am I off kilter here?
You hit the nail on the head, but we love who we are, and we showed up, and we're going again this year. And
I'm going this year. Like, I'm excited to go. I mean,
okay.
let's not let the few
listen
spoil
then.
the bunch.
We've got a 20 by 30 booth. You should be there with us.
Can I live cast from there?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Now Jake, the guy that puts it on, is fantastic. He reached out to us because one of the booths canceled and gave us this extra space.
Yeah.
Which we needed because we're going to be swinging stuff and hammering. So it's and like for what it is like the social media stuff.
Tell you what we ought to do. I hold on. I never interrupt my guests, but I feel like we're just pals here shooting the breeze here at this point.
Yes.
Okay. So you're beyond guest. I'm going to interrupt you a couple times. I just had a biz idea, and I hope At Home Gym Con is watching this right now. Here's what we'll do, because when is Home Gym Con?
End of June 28th, 7th.
So it's coming up fast.
It is.
And where's it at this year?
Kentucky.
Louisville. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So we can drive there. Okay.
We're driving.
Here's what we'll do. You've already bought the booth and paid for the booth.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not giving you any money.
No.
But here's what I'll do.
We'll get you a badge.
I will.
We just got an email.
Yep. You get me in, and I'll bring my stuff in, and I will live stream from there. We'll podcast from there. And At Home Gym Con, here's what we're going to do for you guys. We will allow whoever wants to come in and, for a small fee, plug their thing, plug their biz. I'll interview them. Ryan can pop in. I'll do my thing. Ryan, you run your booth, right? And how about whatever revenue we bring in for other people, I'll split it with you 50-50. Since I wouldn't be there without you, and you wouldn't be doing a podcast without me.
Absolutely.
Deal. Okay. That's the deal right there. And you know what? Prices are going to increase as calls flow in, because we only have so much time, and I want to make sure we give some people there's some products I'm sure there that I want to talk about in length.
Yeah. I'll reach out to Jake, send him an email, and let him know this is happening.
Yeah, and if he doesn't like it, well, we might do this from the parking lot. No, we would never do that. We would never do that.
Yeah, no, he's great, and you know what? It is a nice community. It's and a lot of it is me personally. I just don't fit in with. I love a lot of things, right? Heavy metal, cartoons, comics, but I don't like fit in with that group that only likes that thing. Does that make sense?
I wonder why.
I don't
Not
know.
like a trope.
Yeah, like a home gym. I love home gym con. I mean, I've had a home gym since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
But I don't. There's something about it where I don't want to. That's not my life. I don't want to just discuss, how many holes are in a rack or.
Oh yeah.
I would
oh
rather
man, my eyes glaze over right away.
I would rather discuss, all of the thousands of books I haven't read yet, or just something else, some other opportunity or something that would expand.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Because when we sell exercise equipment,
Yes.
at some point the manufacturer wants to give you some product training on like how it works, and it's like my customers don't care how it works. They care that it's a good quality product and we can fix it if it breaks. And so like when we start talking about horsepower and the drive motor and there you go, and the 2-inch hole spacing and that kind of.
Can I get on it?
Oh,
and run?
yeah. Please, does it break? Okay. Well, does it break less than most? Great. All right. Will you guys support us when it does break, and then we can support our customers? Yes. Okay. Great. Well, then it's a good product. Then we'll take it.
And the other side is, I feel as though I'm a super friendly guy, right? I'm not off-putting. I don't.
Yeah.
But I think some people just don't want you in their.
No, I can tell you right now. If I was at Home Gym Con, either as someone with a booth or as a person going, but especially as one in a booth, and I see your big tattooed ass in this creepy, clowny cosplay thing, and you're swinging an axe around, I'm immediately not going to like you. I'm interested in you, but I don't like you because, I'm like, well, first of all, he's taking all the attention away, and I'm intimidated by that guy. So because I don't want to admit I'm intimidated, I don't like that guy.
That makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Yes. It's like a T-Rex with a kind heart. You don't know he's got a kind heart.
Yeah. You would be so better off taking that sledgehammer and looking like a big friendly Viking, like a big fat Viking. Somebody, or like a troll in the Shire, and having that big hammer, that's fun because that's like a character you want to give a hug to, but also you get to promote your product. So you need to be a huggable character. I don't know if it's just me. I wouldn't like you because I would be intimidated.
Yeah. It's good feedback.
But I'm not now because you're such a friendly guy. And you have just the right amount of salt and pepper in your eyebrows. It almost looks like that was done deliberate. Now, what is that right here?
This is the Stronger Grip Strangler. So talking about ideas and the latest
look
thing.
at this.
What?
Hold on, I got to guess. Let me guess what it is.
Yes, do it.
Because I have never seen this, the Stronger Grip Strangler. Now, don't give me any hints. I got to walk through this in my head. The hole, I feel, is potentially big enough for an Olympic bar to go through, potentially with the head, but I don't know. I don't know because I see this carabiner here, and I don't think so. I know what this is. I think what you do is you loop this chain through a plate, and I think this is for your grip, and you're trying to lift it up off the ground with a plate hanging from it. That's my final answer.
Okay. Excellent. That's one thing. So, the Strangler.
Okay.
The name kind of says it all. It is a wide grip for loading.
Even
cans.
empty, you have to have a little bit of grip to
You
hold
do.
it. Yeah.
Now, what's cool, you hook it to pull-down machines, high pulley roll, low pulley roll.
I didn't even think that. Yeah, you hook it to a cable machine. You don't, yeah, of course.
And a plate, and you grab it like you're strangling someone's neck. and then pull it that way.
my gosh.
Now, what's cool about this is you undo it, and you hook it to said things, and now you have no leverage, and now you have to squeeze it. So you can do low pulley rows. high pulley
Oh
rows.
my gosh.
Yeah.
What's this sell for?
These are 149. Yeah,
Okay,
they're
I'm
off the
buying
sale.
this. I'm buying this today from you, okay? You just sold this one. I just bought this one for $150. Okay, I'm buying it.
So yeah, put this way, raise it up. One hand you can hook it to the machine.
That is cool.
Cupping, so pull downs like that. Two hands like that over a pull-up bar. Now the insert was for like extensor training. Are you familiar with extensors? Opening the hand.
Oh. Oh.
Yep. So.
Oh.
Yes.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
Which
I'll tell you what, I'm going to have some $1,000 forearms for the price of only $150.
Yes.
By the end of summer, my forearms will look like I could kick Popeye's ass. Oh my dude, this is such a great idea because it's like a heavy duty foam in there.
Yes.
That's not going to tear.
Nope. It lets you open your hand. You can even take the chain off and like a wrist roller, but
The
extensor
strangler.
roller. Yeah.
And this is a brainchild of yours?
This
That was a garbage idea.
This was a what?
a garbage.
idea.
So we talk about trinkets.
This
right?
okay, so Liz said this is a garbage idea.
And what she means is, like, I have a recycled strength line, right? Like my smash targets are skid loader tires, I say, from going
which
to
is a great idea.
It's
A lot of work goes into it. Great idea. I'm glad you're doing
one
it.
of our best sellers. Firefighter tanks, one of my recycled strength products. I'll take them. I'll make a handle for them, use them as clubs. I've got lots of metal, so we've been cleaning out the shop. And over the years of collecting scrap metal, some things need to be let go, right? So
Yeah.
I had a bunch of these tubes on there because I haven't used them forever.
They were on the
scrap truck.
These were going to be thrown out. These exact tubes.
Yes, yeah.
Just like this side. You didn't have to cut them or
I
anything. Or
did
is it a
cut
long
them.
tube
They
you
were
cut?
longer tubes.
So you just cut them. What is this, about 6 inches or so?
Yep, 7 inches.
7 inches.
7
Yep.
inches.
Okay.
Yeah, thick-walled stuff. And then it hit me. It's like, and it's that pull of, I don't want to throw it away.
What a great idea.
And then my stronger serial killer strength, I kind of strangler, yeah. Somebody owes you money.
Did you
wanna
just
train
develop
for it?
this?
Yeah.
Is this the first one sold?
This is
That's the first one we made, but we've sold.
This is the first. Can I get this one though?
Yes,
right? Do I
yes.
get this one? I
Yeah.
get the one of one. I get the.
Absolutely.
This is the prototype.
yes.
This is the prototype strangler. Okay, now I'm really excited. So this is the one that started it all.
Yes. Yep. It was I couldn't let the stuff go because all metal wants to be something in my eyes, and I hear the metal scream to me. And this one said, "Strangle me."
Now how do we go from this to every gym in Iowa having one of these?
Having a string, yeah. I think grip is probably still one of those undertrained things. People, they know what grip
Yeah.
is, but how do I get a stronger grip? Well, like Brooks Kubik and Dinosaur Training, make the thing you're grabbing larger diameter. This covers that.
That's so cool.
Use it on two hands. Where you're not grabbing a barbell. Now your hands are open. So now you're squeezing it. Your grip's getting stronger, but you also have to crush it, right?
I love it.
You've got to use your chest to crush that thing. And then the extensor part was almost a whole new thing where I almost didn't want to share it because it's kind of a standalone thing that really I haven't seen done yet.
Now how do we mass produce these? Like, see, here's the problem.
I've got connections now.
Okay,
Yes.
so now it won't be you doing the same old thing every night because you don't
Yes.
want to do the same old thing.
No. I want to make the art. I want to do outreach. Yeah.
Yep. So you've designed it. Now someone else can make. Now, if I get an order, can I sell these on my website?
Yeah. We should work out a.
Can we work out like a kind of a little bit? I mean, I got to make a little bit of money on it. But
Absolutely.
we'll put these on. We'll also put these on treadhero.com. And I'd love to be. That's something where I'd love to just be kind of like a dealer of you guys. I mean, it makes sense, right? Tell me, it's like you come to me and say, hey, Joe, we can mass produce these
Yes.
and we can get them out to people. What do you think? And I'd be like, I'll take these to every one of our gyms that we do business with. And I know a lot of gyms I can think of a couple gyms right now. Tag like Black Iron Barbell and tag like Brick House Fitness. And there's some of those guys down there. I mean, they would love this stuff.
Especially if they do strongman training where
Black Iron Barbell
And Brick House.
Brick House.
And what's the? It's kind of rough. So do you rough it up a little bit, or is that the?
It's a spray texture.
Okay, so you did coat this with
Yes.
something.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's nice. It's not like slippery. So I got to imagine like if your hands are wet,
Right.
you can. It's still not. It might slip a little bit, but I like the texture on it, and it's not too aggressive.
Right.
The prototype.
You know what? But that's been like my dopamine hit is when I can think of something, and literally like make it like 10 minutes later, and then put it online and sell them. That's fun.
Can I tell you a touching story?
Yes.
This just made me think of that when you said, just make neat stuff. So when my son Winston was, I think when he was 4 or 5.
Okay.
We got into the original He-Man.
Okay.
And we, on Prime Video, we bought the seasons of the original He-Man, and we watched all of He-Man, the ones that we watched as a kid. And then we got into the Netflix reboot, the Kevin Smith one.
Yes, Revelations.
Incredible. I loved that. Okay, and all the other ones suck.
Yeah.
Can we agree that it's the original and that one, everything else sucks?
He did a great job.
So anyway, so Landon Martin, do you know Landon?
I don't think we've met,
Ultimate
but
Fitness
I know,
helps
yes.
me out a lot here. Tag Landon Martin, please, Katie. You're the producer. You can't walk away. Like you are. Like, what if somebody comments? I need to know about the comment.
The only person commenting.
Okay, good. At least my video will have a ton of comments. Anyway, Landon, he's a big jack dude.
Yeah.
And also he is just a good friend.
Okay.
And so I went to Landon and I said, my mom, who's a wonderful seamstress, I said, if my mom makes you a He-Man costume, will you come to Winston's birthday party with all of his friends and surprise him as He-Man?
No.
And so he said, absolutely. My mom made the costume. He had the orange wig. He had the furry, Speedo on. He had the thing. And I called my buddy Aaron Kaiser from Mississippi Laser. Tag Mississippi Laser, please, Katie. I'm actually nice to her in real life. I sound like a real jerk right now. I don't mean to be. But anyway, I called Aaron Kaiser at Mississippi Laser, and I said, will you make me a He-Man sword?
Oh, yeah.
And out of aluminum, he made a exact replica He-Man sword.
Nice.
And it was so cool. So it was time to sing Winston his birthday cake, bring out the birthday cake. Skeletor has stolen the birthday cake. Oh my gosh. What are we going to do? And he's sitting all down like everybody's sitting around the table. And with that, He-Man walks in with the cake.
Nice.
So He-Man walks in and says, I got the cake from Skeletor. Do you mind if I stick around? And then He-Man and Winston opened up all of his gifts until the last gift He-Man gave him, and it was his sword.
Oh, nice. That's
Said,
cool.
I want you to have my sword.
That's really cool.
Isn't that the dopest story
It is,
ever?
Yes.
You want a birthday party?
I've made.
Do you want me to call Landon and have him come?
His birthday is coming up.
Oh, we need to have Landon show up and hit the music in the He-Man.
I made a loadable He-Man sword for a customer in Mexico City. That was a fun one, really cool one.
Send me a picture of that.
Yes, I will.
Is that a one of one?
It is, yes. I'm waiting to do 2 of 2 because I want one. But
you know what else this does?
Yes, koozie,
Look at that.
koozie.
It's a koozie. You could put a tall boy. You could put an ice house silo in there. I bet it would.
Have you seen my Thor hammer koozies? Where it's a Thor hammer and then you can put a beverage in it on top?
Probably. I see
Okay.
so much of your stuff. Yeah. Well, anyway. All right. Well, Katie, let's end the live stream for now, if that's okay. We'll take a break and.
She won't let us. She wants us to keep.
What's
going.
that? We'll be right back, everybody, from the Fitness Garage Sale here at Treadmill Heroes, located at 603 West 5th Street, Wilton, Iowa, with my friend Ryan Pitts. Maybe he'll be back on camera, maybe not. Stronger Grip, all the hashtags, all the ats, all the shares. Like and subscribe, follow, and don't forget to hit that notification button. All right.